Hello and welcome. I'm Mirisha Dean. Thank you for joining me. World Fussy Cutting Day is a celebration of paper crafting, joy, and mindfulness, raising awareness for women's heart health, and encouraging crafters to pause, connect, and take care of their hearts, literally and figuratively. This day is in honor and in memory of our crafting retail store owner, Sharon Klima, who passed away from a heart attack in January 2025. She was passionate about her community of women and had a love of fussy cutting and making cards. Today, I'm creating with the January 2025 Let's Stamp Together kit from Scrapbook and Cards Today, a kit that is all heart to raise awareness of heart health in women. So let's go ahead and get started. This kit is so much fun. It includes coordinating dies, stencils, and stamps that work beautifully together. We're going to use them to create two different card designs, one soft and layered with gold accents, and one with a gorgeous blended background of hearts. Here's a closer look at the stencil that is included in this kit. I absolutely love the design. It features a cluster of tiny hearts that form a large heart shape, along with a few individual hearts that are perfect for layering or creating backgrounds. The stamp set includes sweet sentiments that state, thinking of you and smiling, sending love and hugs, and always on my mind and in my heart. You also get a mix of solid and patterned hearts, plus this adorable mini heart background stamp that's perfect for creating a fun background design. A coordinating die set is also included in this kit. You'll receive several heart shapes, a beautiful scallop frame, and that gorgeous love word die with its coordinating shadow layer. For my first card project, I'm bringing in a sheet of watercolor cardstock along with dried marigold and kitsch flamingo re-inkers. I'm using the wet on wet watercolor technique, and first I'll apply clean water with my brush over the cardstock first. I'll then apply a few drops of dried marigold and then kitsch flamingo. As they blend together, they'll create a dreamy mix of peach and pink tones. The key here is to let the water do most of the work. If you want a softer blend, tilt your paper slightly or dab away excess water with a clean towel. And if you want those deeper, richer areas of color, which is what I'm going for, you can add a little more ink while the surface is still damp. I encourage you to not worry about perfection. Watercolor has a mind of its own, and that's part of the beauty. Every background you create will have its own personality, so just enjoy the process and see where it takes you. To speed up the drying time, I used my heat tool, but you can definitely let yours air dry if you'd like. I love using a heat tool because it creates those beautiful lines on my backgrounds. I just love it. And here's a look at my completed watercolored background. Next, I selected a few heart dies from the kit to cut out several hearts in different sizes. You'll see those pretty variations of color come through on each one. No two hearts look alike. Next, it's time to assemble our card front. For the background panel, I used alabaster cardstock from Spellbinders and a stitch rectangle die for that clean finished look. I used scrapbook.com's Market Blooms floral die set to die cut the leaves from Spellbinders Rainforest and Fern cardstock. The frame was die cut from mirror gold cardstock, also from Spellbinders. I will use my liquid adhesive to adhere it to the panel. Next, I die cut the love sentiment 3 times, once from black mirrored cardstock from the classic cardstock paper pack from scrapbook.com, and twice from the alabaster cardstock. I then stack the layers together with liquid adhesive to create a little extra dimension. Once I'm done stacking the layers, I'll then position and adhere the sentiment to the panel. I stamped "Thinking of You and Smiling" on a banner die cut. I then applied foam adhesive to the back and then positioned it underneath the love die cut. This next step is my absolute favorite, and that is adding the hearts and the greenery elements. First, I'll position the hearts because they are the focal point for this project. I'll then bring in the greenery. What I'll do is I'll just continue to play around with the elements, and once I'm satisfied, I'll then adhere the layers with liquid and foam adhesive. Once I'm done adhering the final heart, I'll then apply liquid adhesive to the back of the panel and then adhere it to the card base. The card base is a 4¼ by 5½ inch top folding card base. The cardstock I used is Bellini from Spellbinders. And here's a final look at this card project. I love it. And you know what? You can also add a touch of gold or black splatter to the background. For my next card, I die cut another panel, this time from classic white cardstock using the Perfect Touch rectangle die from Spellbinders. I placed it on the grit mat from scrapbook.com, which helps hold everything perfectly in place while I blend. The oxides I'm using are shaded lilac and picked raspberry, but you can feel free to select any oxides or inks of your choice. First, I use my blending brush to apply shaded lilac in a few random sections on the stencil. I then went in with picked raspberry and repeated the step, but just applied the oxide in a different section of the stencil. I'll then go back in with my blending brush and gently blend the two colors where they meet. I love how this creates a soft ombre effect. It's like a heart full of happy color. I just love how this background turned out. It is so gorgeous. I do, though, have a tip I would love to share with you. You can keep your stencil positioned after you apply your oxide or inks. And if you have clear glitter paste, you can apply it on the stencil to create a fun, glittery background. To add dimension to this project, I stacked the love sentiment just as I did with the previous card project. I'll then adhere it to the center of the panel, and then I'll add foam tape to the back of the banner and then position that under the love sentiment. I wanted to keep this project clean and simple, so I didn't add any extra embellishments, just that bold focal point. I then adhered the panel to a piece of black mirrored cardstock from scrapbook.com's classic paper pad for a sleek contrast. And finally, I mounted the card front onto a 4¼ by 5½ inch top folding card base. But feel free to adhere your card front to a 4¼ by 5½ inch side folding card base. And here's a final look at this card project. I just love how clean and simple it is. And the great thing about this card project, you can easily mass produce it. Here are both of my finished card projects side by side. This one is soft with watercolor hearts and gold accents, and the other bright and playful with ink blended hearts. I love how both of these projects capture the theme of love in two totally different ways. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I hope these card projects inspire you to pull out your January kit and make something beautiful that comes straight from the heart. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll never miss out on new crafty tutorials. I'm sending you love and hugs. Until next time, please take care.